Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Riva TV. Genie Ma trying to crack the prenup. Let's see why. Please subscribe down below. Real appreciate that. Let's give that chow. It's chow time.
Just when I thought that the Genie Ma and Jeezy saga was pretty much over with, Genie Ma has continued with the foolishness. Okay? So, according to this article posted on people.com, which is from People magazine, they have decided to let us know that Jeannie Ma Jenkins has asked a judge not to enforce her prenuptial agreement with her estranged husband, Jeezy, as the pair continue to go back and forth in a fraught divorce.
I know people down below are going to be saying, this is why you don't get prenups. Prenups don't work. The man had her signed like a few days before. I tell guys, you need them to do it way in advance. You need both lawyers to agree. You need to make sure she reads and all these things. Because judges are going to almost always side with the woman. So you're going to have to try to take that away from the judge.
In court documents obtained by People, the real alum claims she wasn't given adequate time to review the documents before signing. She claims that the rapper-born J. Wayne Jenkins began negotiations for the agreement only 5 days before their 2021 wedding. My 45 says that the abbreviated negotiation window has raised significant concerns about the adequacy and thoroughness of the due diligence process and each party's full and fair disclosure of their financial positions according to the documents. Now,
They've been married for so long. Now it matters when the divorce happens. This is the part where I think judges are fucking dicks. You know, they play judge, jury, and God at the same time. And if she felt that it was wrong in whatever way it was, you would think she would have amended it or said something about it during the marriage itself. Now it only matters when he is divorcing her, right? Because he wants to get out of the relationship. So she's going to cause as much ruckus as possible because she wasn't the one that's leaving.
In this article, they go on and they talk about, everything that happened before and prior and all that kind of situation. Let me just say this, okay? I think that there's nothing more heartbreaking, especially when it comes to a marriage where a child is involved, when, the family is now feuding. Okay, now it's you against him. It's not a situation where the two of you, can amicably just walk away from the situation and say, okay, it didn't work out. The situation was what it was. Too bad, so sad. We have to co-parent now. Like it's not this situation. This is not a peaceful breakup between the two of them.
No.
It rarely is when the woman is not in control. You see, when the woman is happy with the decision, when the woman doesn't feel like, she is, losing somebody that would be considered a loss, when a woman doesn't feel like, her ego has been struck and it's a situation where, she's losing out on a potential partner that she really wanted to be with, when a woman doesn't feel like the man is quote unquote the prize of the situation, they have no problem when a breakup happens. Like they have no issues. They want to keep the peace. They're fine with being amicable with you. They're moving on to, when they feel like they're moving on to bigger and better things, they have no problem, stretching a hand out to, their co-parent in need or any of those kind of situations.
She's right.
But you see, when a woman is in a situation that she wants to keep the relationship and she wanted to be the first choice for the man and she wanted to prove that she can step up to the plate, when she wants to prove that she could have tamed that dragon, that's when the problems commence. Hence why we always see men, when they have baby mama drama, it's always the men who are, trying to step up to the plate. They're willing to be good fathers. They are what people would consider to be good men.
Damn. She just spitted out some facts right there, right? Holy shit. It's right. The men that have the worst baby mamas is the good men that try their best to be in their kids' lives. Those are the baby mamas that are giving these men the worst time, the worst life, the worst possible attitudes and lawsuits and things like that because these women aren't happy.
They always say that the good men have the crazy baby mamas.
Mm.
Some would even say vice versa. Okay, the quote unquote baby mamas that are peaceful and this and that are usually in tumultuous situations.
I'm gonna agree with that too. Holy, she's right. The most people that I do realize and I look at, the women that are good women and they happen to be single mothers, but they're still good women. Bad choices in life, but they acknowledge those bad choices. They're the ones with the worst baby daddies. How the world works is so crazy.
But the thing is that, when this whole thing happened, when, it was announced on social media, she said that was the first time that she found out about the divorce. However, when we play back the tape and we did an interview while she was, still pregnant, I believe, or she had just given birth to her child very early on within their marriage, she did an interview and she made it very clear that, she had some problems with disrespecting men.
Oh, I remember this.
Okay, she made it very clear that she had a problem where she disrespected Jeezy, and he let her know that's not gonna fly.
Nope.
And she said out of her own mouth that if she did not, get her attitude together, come correct when she's dealing with her husband, that she knew that it was going to be a situation that she was going to end up losing her marriage. So although she's saying that she was in shock and she had no idea and it was just all, it came to her out of nowhere, we know that is not usually how these situations happen.
Nope.
There's usually a buildup. There's usually something that transpires, especially if it is a man who is filing for divorce.
I was going to say that. He's the one that filed. Yes, when the man files, he's willing to take the hit. He's willing to do all these things. He's done ski.
As we know, most of the time, it's women who file.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation, it started off with her saying that, okay, y'all all want to be on his side. Everybody want to support him because of the comment I made or the ill-placed joke about having dark meat on the side. Everybody want to.
That was such a dumbass joke as a woman to be making jokes about, oh, I'm with the white guy, but I like the dark meat on the side. You just pretty much said that Jay's or young Jeezy, or I don't know, it's hard for me to say his name, is a side man. That black men, in a sense, are only good for being side men. Like, that's what the joke kind of reference. And remember, jokes are jokes, yes, but jokes almost always have a degree of truth to them, especially the person telling the joke.
Want to jump on his side? Okay, I know how to get women on my side. I'm going to say he cheated on me.
Yep, exactly.
That was the first one.
So easy for women to accuse men and get the public on their side by these shitty accusations of cheating. He was abusive to the kids, blah, blah, fucking blah.
Second take was, okay, well, I don't feel safe because, I don't want to have my child over there with him because I feel like my child's not going to be, safe in his care.
It's their fucking father. Is this how fathers are viewed now? If there's a father with no mother present, he's just an abuser and he's a bad man? Like, what the fuck? Society needs to really, really rethink what the fuck is going on right now with this. Just because she said that he's not a good father and she's worried about him being alone with his own kids. You were with him this whole time and it was never an issue. But once you're out of the picture, now all of a sudden he's going to just take advantage of the kids? Fuck out of here.
But when you were married to him, that wasn't a problem for you. When you were with him, you didn't feel like there was any safety issues with your child. As long as he's with you, he's a safe space for his child. But because he's no longer with you, now all of a sudden,
right,
you got to step in and protect your child from the dangers that he could possibly create. Allegedly. based off of his lifestyle choices, based off of the things that he have in his home that you were okay with.
She cooking.
At first. Now, when all else fails, now she has decided to say, okay, well, we signed these documents too fast.
Yeah.
So now I don't agree with it. But when you were married, you had no problem. When you were with him, if you guys continued the marriage, you would have not said, you know what? Can we revise our prenuptial agreement?
Correct.
Why is that not something that you thought about when you were in the marriage? But now, because you want it to work out in a certain way, or you want it to work out in your favor, now all of a sudden you have to look into it.
This is why I do agree with you guys. Prenuptial agreements do get thrown out a good amount of times. Why? Tears. Women's tears do sway judges, especially if it's a stupid male judge, right? But you have to put the prenup in place properly. That's the thing where a lot of these people are getting fucked over. 5 days before the wedding, yes, she can file for duress for that. Steven Spielberg wrote his fucking prenup on a napkin. Of course that shit's gonna get thrown out. These little stupid things that men aren't aware of, that's what fucks you over when it comes to these prenups.
You didn't agree with it. This is exactly why, one of the reasons why people say, oh, in 30 days, in 60 days, in 90 days, a man is supposed to know what he wants and who he want to be with. And, after that time frame, if you still dating a man, if you still waiting around for a man to come and be with you, just know that you're not his first choice.
God damn, 3 months? 6 months? That's crazy. I would never give I'm not even exclusive to people within those time ranges. I don't even know these people that well.
This is why this is something that I have never agreed with. Reason being because you need to know somebody. Okay? How does this person act when you tell them no? How does this person act when they're angry? How does this person act when, things don't go their way? How does this person manage their finances? Do they pay the bills on time? Do they wait till the bill has been past due before they're ready to pay it? You have to know these intricate details about a person. And some of these things are not going to work out within the vetting process of you knowing all these details.
True.
Because people are showing the representative, the best version of themselves. Sometimes you need time to watch, wait, see, observe.
My suggestion is always at least 2 to 3 years, guys. Anything past 3 years, you have a pretty solid understanding and clue of the person. Hopefully you maybe lived with each other a little bit. Some people say cohabitation is a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Why? Because you need to live with that person to see those little micro things that they do in the house that might be an issue.
Have you ever noticed that it's always women who are rushing men into marriage?
That it is. I mean, I admit there are those simps that are very desperate that will throw themselves at a lot of these women and will marry them right away. There are those men, but it's usually women that are forcing this shit.
And being the natural observers that they are, they're just sitting there like, okay, I'll know when.
Yep.
I know the criteria. I know this. I know that. But I'll know when. Women are always like, well, what are we waiting for? We might as well just do it. They're ready to jump to that space. But at the same time,
They're the quickest to divorce.
In retrospect, who is the person that usually has the most of the burden when a divorce happens? It's usually the man. There's so many women who come, to the aid and to the defense of a woman. And, there's nothing wrong. If somebody's going through something, or there's always tumultuous situations, there's always 3 sides to a story, his side, her side, and the truth. There's always that, right?
Yep,
Let me just say that disclaimer. That's always true. How?
Little pause. Shout outs to Riva. Like, she is cooking with this. I don't really want to interrupt too much, but I always have something to say just because I always have something to say. So, but yeah, go give her some support. Give her some subs. Go watch her channel. She covers a lot of great news. She covers mostly black content and black type news. She will cover other things, but Give her some support.
However, not just because a woman is a woman should you side with her. Not because a situation is not, for example, if a woman is verbally, harmful to her husband, just because it's not physical doesn't mean that it doesn't, cause problems or ring true that this is unhealthy or toxic.
True.
Because to me, this is the ultimate example of a role reversal. This whole breakup is an example of a role reversal. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, if Jeezy found out online that he was getting a divorce and he came online saying, woe is me, I didn't know, and he was on a campaign doing interview after interview talking about he didn't know about the situation and all these things, if it was the other way around, women would be saying to him, oh, well, it must be something that you did. No woman just wakes up and decides to ruin her family. So it must be something that you did, Jeezy.
It's always our fault.
You got to be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If this man said, well, now that she wants to divorce me, I don't think my child is safe in her care. Oh, so you didn't think about that from before?
Yep.
If a man said, okay, we need to revise the prenuptial agreement because it happened too fast. Oh, you see, that's how these men do. So why are y'all not keeping that same energy?
Because it's not women.
For the sake of woman?
Yep, pretty much.
For the sake of womanhood? For what?
I really think it's the entitlement and privilege. They want this to continue on because they're worried sooner or later this is going to happen to them. And if it's going to happen to them, they would rather it be the way that they want it. I'm just saying.
I think that one of the things that I could see that is heartbreaking about this situation is, that obviously in the beginning of whatever connection that they had, she definitely was trying to fit the mold of whoever his spouse was supposed to be.
This is the whole can't change a hoe into a housewife, right? Jeezy tried. We all know Genie Ma was no housewife to begin with, right? So, guess what? She still ain't a housewife.
In my opinion. Okay, this is somebody who said that they never wanted children, got with Jeezy, all of a sudden she want a baby. This is somebody who was used to being the dominant person in her relationships, got with her, and attempted to be the balance to this dominant man, but could not meet the mark.
I love how she explains that.
I always have to say whenever I talk...
So I do give Jeannie a little bit of credit for at least attempting. There's women out there that don't attempt shit. So.
Talk about this situation. A lot of women, okay? You know the truth. Mm-hmm. You know who you're with. You know the type of relationship that you have. Do not let all these other women around you, your homegirls, your friends, or people on social media lie to you and try to force you to believe that you don't have the good man that you actually have.
100% true. Just dating a girl. Had a conversation with her. She was out of town. Her best friend was with her. We were chit-chatting, making jokes and stuff. And then they were talking about, oh, I am sophisticated. They were talking about, and I was like, you're not sophisticated. And I gave this, facetious face and facetious voice because it was just a joke. Her friend automatically took it as like, what? So you think she's trash? And that's what women do. They automatically take, if it's something that is not a praise, they automatically use that against you as a shoot down on themselves so they can use it to battle, to fight, to argue. I was not letting it down. Like, even though it's her best friend, I shut her down. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. What I said, yeah, she's not sophisticated. You think, sophistication is usually reserved for royalty and high class people. There's not, and I straight up said, she's not that high class. Like, she's slightly ghetto. I even said this, and she was livid. Not the girl I was dating, but the best friend. And the girl I was dating was just like, why is she upset? Like, I know he's joking. I saw the joke, but she seems to really want to attack this guy for saying these things. But she doesn't know how me and this guy interact with each other, which is exactly it. Your friends do not know your relationship. They do not know exactly how you interact. So when they see these small little things, they're automatically going to use it to attack that man. Why? Because they want you miserable too.
Everybody has to do work when they get into relationships. If your issue is, or your mountain is that you have to tame your tongue, so be it. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, well, you an alpha woman. Can't nobody calm you down. If he want to act like that, he weak. Don't let nobody lie to you. Because if you're a quote unquote alpha woman and you're with a man who was allowing you to be the alpha woman and you were not satisfied, and now you're getting with an alpha man and it's still not working out, who's the common denominator? Maybe you have some stuff to work on, and that's okay. That's okay. But you have to be real with yourself. A lot of women are having issues because they're not being real with themselves.
True.
They're living in fantasy land, or
the
the land where it's all women supporting women and supporting you even when you're wrong.
Barbie land.
Nobody can't tell you nothing.
Enough.
It's sad that they're going through this, and obviously, in my opinion, why we keep seeing all these things. Oh, he not safe, and he not this, and he not that. Oh, and now, I need this because I need I want to recheck the prenup that we had. It just, to me, it's just bitterness personified. It is. And again, for the sake of their child, I hope that they are able to work through this situation.
I really don't. Jeannie Ma seems like a very, how do you say it, cynical person when it comes to not getting her way. So I think she's really going to be a big battle in every step of this guy's life now. They have a kid together. You fucked yourself.
And realize that even though they may not be together anymore, this is still a family structure. Trying to create the best balance for this now child. That is a 50% of the two of you.
Correct.
I hope that they can piece it together and make it work amicably. Maybe they need to go to some kind of therapy, even though the relationship not working out no more, to try to just get on the same page. Because nobody wins when the family feuds.
Mm-hmm. Whew, that was some good chow. Shout out to Reva. I try not to interrupt her too much, but obviously I'm just a horrible interrupter. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.